So today, we're going to talk about an introduction to Snapchat. So I was also going to poll the room and see how many of you have Snapchat, but how many of you do not have Snapchat? And how many of you do not know anything about Snapchat and have no idea what it's for, what it's used for? Okay, great. So this presentation is going to be a real eye-opener for you. I'm hoping that it'll give some insight into what Snapchat is, how you can use it, and what USA Swimming will do once we launch our Snapchat later this week. So I'm going to play a quick video first. This is talking about the evolution of social media and how Snapchat came to be.
How often do you guys use Snapchat?
Every day, all day.
The question is, when do I not use Snapchat? Breakfast, each lunch.
Yeah.
Every couple of years, a new platform shows up and is quickly declared the future of social media. Let me explain. First, there was Friendster. Then MySpace showed up, got rid of Friendster. Facebook came along and took out MySpace.
Hey!
Then Instagram showed up, but was bought off by Facebook for $1 billion. And now there's Snapchat. Facebook tried to buy Snapchat for a reported $3 billion, but Snapchat refused.
How big does this pile have to be?
Now, there's a new gangster in town.
Say my name.
Snapchat?
You're goddamn right.
So any Breaking Bad fans in the room? Yeah, figured so. So that's just kind of how Snapchat came to be from other social medias. So what is Snapchat? So Snapchat was founded by two 20-year-olds in 2011 who went to school together at Stanford. And the idea behind Snapchat was that they actually created it because it's the opposite of every other social media. So when you think about Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they all live forever, right? Sometimes you wish you could delete something, probably someone already screenshotted it, and it's up forever, it never goes away. So with Snapchat, the idea behind it was to get, was that you were able to send these photos, videos, your day-to-day life, and it would delete after 24 hours. So they really came up with it because it was the opposite of every social media. 4 million snaps are sent per day. So in retrospect, about 3 million Facebook, Twitter posts are sent a day. So in retrospect, people are snapping a lot more. There are a lot more engaged users than there are maybe on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And then in the last year, Snapchat has grown by 27% in its user base. So that's 50 million users. In the beginning, it grew, in 1 year, it went from 0 followers to 100 million just last year. So for it to grow so quickly every year is a big deal for Snapchat. And people are getting on this, especially with millennials this year. They're getting into instant videos. Steve mentioned earlier instantaneous posts and videos, and people want to see the now. And that's what Snapchat does as a social media. So why Snapchat? So these are some of the answers that actually some teens gave for why they chose Snapchat. So it's in the moment. So your day-to-day life, you could snap a video, a picture, and it's not your highlight reel of what you're doing. Of course, you choose what you're doing, but it's snapping photos right then and there and posting it to your social media. And people like that because they can follow their friends on a day-to-day basis. Even businesses use this for that same sense to show what they're doing from day to day. There's no social pressure. So I'm sure that everyone here is like, oh, I got 100 likes on Instagram. I'm a big star. There's no comparison on Snapchat. So when you send a Snapchat, you're not looking for likes, you're not looking for comments. You're sending it to people or you're putting it up as your story and everyone can view it. So there's no social scrutiny. And teens really like that since nowadays everything is based off of likes and comments. It's quick and easy, so you just snap a photo or a video with your iPhone with whatever you're doing, and you're able to post it into Snapchat within the next 10 seconds. taking that photo. Whereas on Twitter or Instagram, you might be thinking of the perfect caption, what's going to get the most likes, so, you know, putting the perfect emojis with it. Whereas Snapchat, you put it up as your story, people are probably going to view it maybe a couple of times for those 10 seconds that you put it up, and it's a lot less pressure on people to post. And then you know who's watching. So Snapchat gives the ability to see exactly who's viewed your post. So when you post a story, you can see every person that has viewed your story. As opposed to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, you can see who's liked your post, you can see who's commented on your post, but maybe not necessarily who scrolled through, looked at it, and passed it by without any action attached to it. So Snapchat gives you the ability to know who's watching. So we're going to go through a few Snapchat myths. I'm sure there are a few misconceptions in the room, so I wanted to clear those up. So only teenagers use Snapchat. The biggest base, of course, is that 13 to 24-year range, but you might be surprised to see that 60% of Snapchat users are 13 to 24, but 63% of Snapchat users are 18 to 34. And what that is that's parents getting involved because they see that their kids are now on Snapchat and they want to know what they're doing. Even businesses getting involved. So they want to know what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, so they start getting involved with Snapchat. So it's growing, it's getting an evolution over the years, especially in these past couple of years, to grow into an older audience base. Snapchat isn't as big as Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. But in daily users, of course, Facebook is always going to be biggest in daily users. It was one of the first social medias to come out. So it has 1.23 billion users. Instagram with 4 million users. But Snapchat comes in third at 161 million users per day. And surprisingly, Twitter comes in last at 140 million users per day. So it's actually up and coming. Like I said, it grew 20% in the last year. So that'll just continue to grow as we continue. This is a common misconception. I put it up here because I know that people, when I was convincing USA Swimming to do this, you know, I had a lot of safe sport questions about this. And I think that it's a very common misconception that is funny, but isn't necessarily what Snapchat was meant for. Snapchat is meant to tell a story about what you're doing in your day-to-day life. And maybe some people use it for this, but that's not what Snapchat is about. So I'm going to give you a brief description of how it works and what, how you can use Snapchat. So you've got 3 main screens. I was going to put my phone up here, but we were afraid that it may not work as well as we wanted it to. So I've got these pictures for you. And of course, if you have any questions, we do have our 2 microphones, Riley and Haley in the back there. If you guys are on Snapchat while I'm talking and you are super confused and want to know what it's about, you can raise your hand and they'll come to you and answer any questions you may have. So the first screen on your far right is what comes up when you first open Snapchat. So it's your photo screen. Take a picture, you hold it down for videos. Videos can only be 10 seconds long. And then you have your 2 buttons on the side that are direct snaps, so that's people that you send your own Snapchats to, and you can view people's snaps who send it to you. And then the bottom right button is your stories. Now this is what makes Snapchat different. I know that Instagram just came out with stories, but Snapchat has a little bit different take on it that makes it unique. So your story is basically a compilation of photos, videos that you put up, and you can see what other people have put up, including sports teams, businesses. They all come up with their own stories to tell what they're doing. And then Discover. We won't talk about this a whole bunch today because I don't want to get too confusing, but Discover is basically magazines, TV shows, sports networks that pay a lot of money to be advertising on there, and they do their own stories and are able to post articles on there. So people clicking through, they can actually see all these magazines in one place. So what is a story? So a story is a series of photos and videos that disappear after 24 hours. So you can post a photo and it could be 1 to 10 seconds, and or video. As you can see, my sweet potato fries at Bristol Brewing here. But adding it to your story, it'll disappear after 24 hours, and you can do as many snaps as you want into your story. I don't recommend doing a lot. It gets to be quite a bit of time going through your stories that way. So filters. So I've got a few videos here just of how filters work. So of course there's your normal filters like your black and white, your lo-fi, whatever your Instagram filter is of choice on there. But you can also do things that are in your area. So as you saw, the temperature, you can slow down the video, you can tell what time it is. And then you can also, what makes Snapchat unique is these video filters and geo filters. So whenever you're in a certain area, most big cities have these geo filters that you can swipe across and tell exactly what, you can put it on your Snapchat story of exactly where you are. Same with businesses. Businesses will put up filters for events. I don't know, like SwimBiz. We do have a filter if you guys are on Snapchat and using it. But you can put exactly what you're doing, and it's a creative way to create a marketing campaign around your event. And then we also, another unique feature of Snapchat is these fun filters they have. I'm sure you've seen the like rainbow falling out of your mouth, your puppy with the tongue hanging out. There are lots of those around there. But Snapchat has this unique feature to make weird videos, photos, and to make them unique and your own. And basically what that does is that that allows Snapchat to be different from an Instagram stories or a Facebook stories that they just created that you can post. And as you can see, I did it on Michael Phelps. It was far too fun. And then other Snapchat features. So we've got, you're allowed to add text across the board and draw on all your photos or your videos throughout the day. And then you can also use as many emojis as you want to make your story unique and tell a fun story. And then this video on the side just shows a quick description of how to use this cutting feature. This is new to Snapchat recently. So basically what they've done is they have taken, you can swipe on your phone just in something that you want to duplicate, and it will take it from that, and you can put it wherever you want on your photo. So those are just some fun features of Snapchat. I'm sorry, that's really boring for all of you who have Snapchat already. But I did want to show you an example of a story. So for your fun and entertainment, we have actually put together a unique story of a day in the life of business development. So
today we're going to look into what business development does on a day-to-day basis.
Natalie. That's actually true. Hey, Naila, where are you going? So as you can see, it's a fun way to put together photos and videos of and make your own unique story. So maybe all of those didn't make sense separately, but together they come together and make a fun way to make your friends laugh and tell them what you're doing throughout the day. So USA Swimming getting a Snapchat. That will launch later this week at the Arena Pro Swim Series in Mesa. So you guys are the first to know about it, so congratulations, you're in the know. So what will you see? Some of the things we're wanting to implement on Snapchat are behind the scenes at events. So in Mesa, for example, we'll be doing a lot of behind the scenes looks at, going behind the blocks, maybe things that not your everyday age group swimmer who's on Snapchat would see while they're at these big events. National team member takeovers. So in Mesa, Leah Smith has graciously accepted our offer to do a takeover. So you'll see things like that throughout. We're hoping to get more as we go through to see how athletes are training, to see what their pre-race routine is like, what they do after their race, what do they do when they win, to see their personality more than just swimming. So to take that to the next level, instead of saying who won first, who got second, who got third, but to take it to the next level and see who they are outside of the pool. Splash magazine content. So we're hoping to integrate Splash a little bit with Snapchat, since it is kind of the voice, a similar voice to what we're trying to do for Snapchat. So we'll do things like incorporating Zeke into some graphics that we do at Arena Pro Swim Series, or some of the articles that I've written. Maybe we'll get an expert to talk about that via Snapchat. And then club takeovers. This is something we haven't really planned out yet, but we would like to see some club content, what you guys are doing on a day-to-day basis, what you do to make your practices fun. Not necessarily we're doing 60-100s on a minute and we hope our kids can survive, but more of what you do personality-wise to make your teams fun that would interest other teams. And so just to give you a look into what we're planning on doing, so this is our filter that we will have for the Arena Pro Swim Series, and we're going to try and do more of these throughout our events. So whether that's a smaller event of Speedo sectionals or a bigger event like Olympic trials, we're going to try and get some of these incorporated at our events and get some marketing around our sport. And then today, we have a filter for SwimViz. So I know that a lot of you raise your hands that you're on Snapchat. So while you're in the Marriott area, at the food truck social, what have you, we do have a filter that you guys can use throughout the day. And we will have one at the zoo for our Club Marketing Awards. So please use it. We want to see what you guys are up to, and feel free to share it on your other social media channels.